I've had a couple of people asking me if I would do a video on using a microphone with the Quad Cortex, so that's what I've done. This video using a microphone with the Quad Cortex, or more specifically using a microphone and the acoustic guitar at the same time through the Quad Cortex. So you've got two separate signal paths going through the one device. Now the beauty of this is you could use the Quad Cortex instead of a PA head. You don't need a mixer. You could go out of the outputs straight into one or two powered speakers. I thought the best way to demonstrate it would be to sing a song with my acoustic guitar. I've recorded it on the computer, but I haven't done any editing afterwards. All the effects you hear are coming from the Quad Cortex. The song I've done is one of my own songs, which I've done for two reasons. One, because I want to play one of my own songs, and secondly, it means I don't get a copyright strike on my channel. Now, if you want to see the full band version of this song, I'll link to the video here. I'll also put a link in the description where you can go and download the track for free, or you can go and listen to it on the platform of your choice. So after the video of me playing the song, I'm going to then go over the preset so you can see how it all works. So without further ado, here's the track.
Said is it a tattoo on your back of a dream catcher? How you gonna see if you got a dream? I showed your mind, show me yours anyway, it doesn't matter, 'cause Billy the Yen chose a picture, so you don't know what it means. It's been the more than 45 till the sun comes up. I got nowhere to go, I missed the midnight bus. Guess the time clock must have stopped up and wrong. They need her back to the start of the song. Let's lose track, throw the bottle back at the feeling. I like it here, glad I got nowhere to go. Lay back, didn't see that mirror on the ceiling. Looks like I could have missed something I needed to know.
Right, let me show you what I've done with this preset. So the first thing to note is that the guitar is going into input 1, which so in 1 I've selected here. You can select whichever input you want at that point, and the mic is going into in 2 here, so I've selected the second input. These inputs either take a jack or an XLR. I think the routing is probably the first thing to look at with this preset that's taking 2 different devices. So what I did, I based this on my Acoustic Scenes preset, which is available on the Cortex Cloud, and I've done a video or 2 on that. I'll link up here. Can we see that? Yes, because his camera's in the way. And this is the Acoustic Scenes preset that I use on gigs when I'm looping, etc. I've got an octaver on there set up for boosts for solo with a bit of delay, etc. But what I've done, I've added, and also it's got the impulse response, which I've got on a cabinet. This is I go into detail on the other video, so if you check that out, I won't go into that here. But this path, it's from the input 1. These inputs take jack or XLR, so I'm going jack in, input 1, so that's where you select the input for this row, and this row splits off. This is where I've got the impulse response to get a more natural acoustic sound, but basically it's all on this one row. And it goes to row 3, which comes down here. That's first section, and it comes down here because I couldn't fit everything on one row. And on the second row I've got a bit of delay, and I've got the effects loop, which I use for the looping. If you're not going to use the effects loop, then you need to turn that off, otherwise you won't get any sound. And then I come out of out 1 on here, but what I'm actually going to do, I did that for the purpose of recording, just because it made it slightly easier to separate the levels. I wasn't quite sure whether the level between the mic and guitar would be okay, but actually it was fine. But it was just so I didn't do the whole video and then have to scrap it because I'd made a mistake. So what we'll actually do is set this to multiple outputs, both devices. That way you can either plug this straight into a mono speaker, or you could even go into stereo speakers. You could then set up the stereo effects as well if you're going to use 2 speakers. But you could use this if you're using a guitar and a mic. You can use this just with 2 powered speakers. You don't even need an amp because this acts as everything. So then the second thing I'm doing, I'm plugging the mic into input 2, which again I've just set this, they're all going to come out of the multi-outs, but in this case I had it coming out of output 2, but that was only for the purposes of the recording. If I was using this live, I'd leave this on multi-out. So I'm going to upload this preset, and that's how I'm going to leave it. So in addition to the acoustic guitar path, which is all set out in that other video, what I've done on the mic path, I've put a gain block in. I can use this to adjust the level of the mic in relation to the guitar. I've actually got this plus 12 dB. It was about the right level, and I could nudge that back. If I needed more, I could add another one, because the SM58 needs quite a lot of gain, but that seemed to be enough in this case. Then I added a graphic equalizer, which I just cut a bit of the bottom end and I boosted a bit of the treble, just what I'd normally do on a desk really. Just made it sound clearer, and when it was flat it sounded a little bit muddy, so that just cleaned it up a little bit. Then I put in a compressor. I've sort of set the mix down. It's not doing too much, but it helps. You can hear it on the recording. It's worth having on there. I mean, you can turn it off if you like, but I think it helps. Then I put on just a little bit of delay. Obviously we can turn these on and off if they're not suitable. This is a kind of just a slap delay I set up really just for the purposes of this video. I probably wouldn't use that normally. And then some reverb. I just put a room reverb on, which is the same reverb actually that I'm using on the guitar. Now you could, I didn't do it for this because I was using 2 separate outputs. You could probably reroute this and have everything going through the same reverb if you wanted to, but you don't need to, because there's enough capacity on here, and then you can alter the amount of reverb you want for the vocal and the guitar separately. So this is all very well, but there is a bit of a showstopper here, and that is that the tuner, if you want to tune your guitar, will also turn your microphone off. So the workaround is to either have a headstock tuner, or as I've got on my Takamine, there's a tuner built into the preamp, is to set another gain block on the guitar path, which cuts the guitar, and then you'll have to tune it with the built-in tuner. What I would do then as well, because I'd be talking in between songs while I'm tuning, I will disable the delay and reverb on the mic channel, because you don't want the delay or reverb on while you're talking. So I'm going to do that when I upload this. There's going to be a tuning talking scene, but all the other scenes I'm going to leave like this. So this is default, that's what I use when I'm just strumming along. That's got reverb and stuff on it. Then when I put the bass down, as you'll see on the video, that adds the octave. Drums, that turns the reverb off, and then solo, that boosts it and adds some delay. These other ones, I turn that mic effect off so you can hear the difference of what the EQ etc does, but I'm going to put in a tune-up scene on here as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was useful. I hope it answered a few questions. Please hit subscribe and the bell so you know when I've got a new video coming out, which I'm endeavouring to do every single week. Also, leave me a comment. That's very handy, because then it gives me ideas for more videos. Okay, see you next time.
What's that? Is it a tattoo on your back of a dream catcher? How you gonna see if you got a dream? I showed your mind, show me yours any way it does.